Hello everybody, how is it going? And welcome to another episode of Amps of the Axe Factory. I will be your host, Lucas, and today I'm really excited because we are going to be checking out one of my favorite amps of all time. That is going to be the Peavey 5150. Guys, if it's your first time here or if you've been here before, make sure you press that subscribe button. I do Axe Effects tutorials, gear reviews, mixing tutorials, and I also do giveaways from time to time. So smash that subscribe button. I don't want you to miss any of the cool stuff I got going on here. So without further ado, let's jump right into checking out the 5150. So this amp is legendary for a ton of reasons. So it is Eddie Van Halen, may he rest in power. It was his first signature amp that he did with Peavey. He was with Soldano before, and Soldano really didn't do endorsement deals, and he wanted an amp that he could go anywhere in the world and pull it off the shelf and play a show with it if he needed to. And he went to Mr. James Brown at Peavey, and they came up with the 5150. So we have a couple of different renditions of it here in the Axe Effects 3. The Holy Grail 5150 is the block letter, and what that means is if you can see it right here, EVH's initials were inscribed right here, but I cannot think of the company. I did a breakdown of the 5150, of the history of it. I'll put that at the end and up top if you want to check it out. I forgot the name of the company, but they use the same font, and they didn't want people getting confused with it, so it changed over to the signature that ended up right here. There's absolutely zero difference between a block letter and a signature letter, and there's pretty much zero difference between a 6505 and a 5150. Peavey just was forced to change the name after Eddie left because he took the name 5150 with him. 5150 is the California police code for a crazy person on the loose. By the way, getting some little history buff in there. The block letter that we have, it sounds a little bit different, as Cliff says. Here's a quote from Cliff because it's biased a little bit warmer than the stock amp. This comment right here, number 2, is true but also false at the same time, because this should actually mean the difference between the 5150 and the 6505 plus, which is a 5152. That's what this is what this means. This is what Cliff's talking about, but he got confused. It's a direct quote that Yek put right here. I need to submit this to get this corrected. The differences are the input gain network is different from the coupling cap after the second triode stage is a different value. That's the difference between the 5151 and 5152. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I promise I'll play really soon. And so the main difference was, okay, so you had the 5150. Then they came out with the 5150 combo, which I have behind me. I don't know if you can see it. It's what my Rev amp is sitting on back there. And Eddie actually used that, and he played it a lot on tour. And the tweaks that him and James did ended up in the 5152. So that's why the clean channel is so much better in the 5152. And if you look on here, we have everything from the clean and crunch channels off from the 5152 because it sounds a lot better. Because let's just be honest, 5150 clean channel was absolutely garbage, and it really wasn't a clean channel. It was a crunch channel that gave you the option to be clean, is basically what it is. And the 5152 improved on that a lot, but people don't buy 5150s for their clean channel. Let's be real, guys. Let me situate this real quick here. Moved it out the way. There we go. Nice and smashed up right here. There we go. So, I know I've been rambling a lot, so let me play the block letter. This amp shreds. It's so great. On the real amps and on here too, if you get everything around the 666 value, it actually works out well. You're gonna see that. I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of happened that way. EQ wise, I'm gonna run this through because I'm gonna forget. Pretty much everything you're gonna see, we're gonna have like this little staircase V. I didn't really touch it on any of the clean channels. And the crunch, I pulled some mids out. We have that little staircase going on there too for the crunch bright channel. Crap, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Okay, yeah, we switched right here. I didn't touch anything for the clean bright and for the 5152. I have a little staircase going on right here. So for the 5150, for the block, did I not? Oh, no, I'm sorry, let me go up. I get that confused sometimes. So I always pull out a little bit of the mids because this is a super mid-heavy amp because it's basically, its roots are based off of a hot-rodded Marshall. That's really what a 5150 is. It's a hot-rodded Marshall that evolved so much it ended up being something else, which a lot of amps are. Running the drive, it's just a T808 on 6, level at 5. Very, very simple. I have the drive in there because it cleans out a lot of that mud that I really can't stand, and it makes things sound nice and great. IR-wise, using the GGG Zilla oversized 412 with a UKV30 with the SM57 on it. Let me run through my settings for you right here. A little air in the room. Nothing to be aligned because they're only using one IR. Proximity, which kind of gives you like a little bit more bass response. Have that at around 3. My biggest thing with the 5150 is that you have to kind of mess with the bass. Because I find the bass response can be kind of weird on here. Meaning that it's like there's like a lack. It like disappears. So that's why in EQ I have so much 63 right there to give it a nice good oomph. Watch, and I'll take it out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just so it doesn't get sounding too thin. I want it to sound nice and full for you guys. This amp is great. It works well for so many things. I'm gonna go over the difference between the 5151 and the 2. Distortion wise in a little bit, but let's move on to the clean channels, which we have clean, clean, bright, and crunch bright. I believe it is because on the 5150 itself, you have like a switch you push, and it takes you. It's just like a bright switch. Is really what it is. So let's check out the 5152 clean channel. I mean, it's clean channel. Using my Black Cat headless guitar with Tosin Fishman's in it, and the cleans are going to be in the split coil position, so it's 2 single coils off of each pickup. I find the 6160 clean, what's what it's called, the 5152 clean sounds better in the Axe Effects than it does in real life, because the clean on my combo is really a lot to be desired, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, this is the clean. It's literally the clean channel with the bright switch push. That's literally the only difference. Now you do need this a lot on the amp because it can get kind of dark depending on what speakers that you're using. The bright switch is a godsend. And as for my settings, I'm not doing anything special. Literally just turning knobs until it sounds good. Now this is the crunch. So on the amp itself, it's the same exact channel. You just push a button and it like gives it more gain. So it's like a crunch. So same exact channel. You just push the crunch knob, and you also have access to that bright switch, which you're going to be checking out. So I'm going to kind of go through different positions on my guitar to kind of let you hear what it sounds like. As in split coil position, this is on the bridge. As you can tell on the bridge, it gets kind of stuffy. Middle position for shits and giggles. Kind of almost a lot like the bridge. This is just the neck pickup single coil position. You can get a like genty-ish tone on there if you do that, and there's a neck pickup. For me, it sounds best on the split coils back here by the bridge. Now, do not be fooled by this crunch channel. So on the Sliosis's latest album, a lot of, well, pretty much all of the rhythm guitar tracks are recorded with the crunch channel from the original 5150, which we kind of don't have here, but this is kind of more or less the same thing. It's a little difference here. So you can get really good really good heavy metal tones from the crunch channel. I've just always kind of preferred it to use it like it's meant to be used, meaning, you know, kind of like a kind of like that. I've always loved to use it in that regard. Now, this is literally Crunch Bright, like I said before. It's the same channel, just pushing the bright switch. Same pickup position. Bridge. Yeah, sounds like shit. Middle. And I find that the bright sounds a little bit better on the single coil position on my guitar. That is a crunch. Kind of breeze through that, because I know when people look up at 5150, they're not going for those channels. But I want to give kudos to Fractal and for Cliff for sticking that in there, because those models came a little bit later. For the longest time, we just had the 5150 the lead channels in there. I'm really glad that he put those in there. He didn't have to, because that's not what people go for when they look for 5150, but I'm glad he added them, because they're very accurate. They sound actually a little bit better than the actual combo, but I digress. So, okay, so here we go. We have the 5152 lead. Let me actually click in the right spot. It's dialed in a tad bit different than the block, as you can see. It is a very different beast. It is a very different amp. We're still using the same IR. It's been the same IR the whole way. Drives exactly the same as it is in the block. I'm gonna be on the bridge, and let me hear you. Just let me play for you. So this amp is very, very, very different. As Cliff was saying, those subtle changes, they're very apparent, because for me, the drive layout of the 5152, it has more of a lush gain. I'm trying to put this into words. I find it's better for lead tones, is basically what I'm saying. I find it's a little bit more fuller, and you can get better lead tones out of it. It's kind of hard to put it exactly into words. So let me bounce back and forth between the two, so you can kind of hear the difference. So on the 2, I have the gain at 420, Blaze It by Boys, and I have this one at around 3. So let me put this one at 420, and I'm going to bounce back and forth again. Trying to wrap this video up, because we've been going a little long. So overall, let me wrap this video up. I love these amps. I love both. Everything we've played in here, like I love. They all have a place in the amp meta, if you will. The block is my absolute favorite. Like this setup right here, I pulled that out of a plugin I made during COVID about a year ago for like my 6-string and my 7-string. It's like everything all in one plugin. I pulled that out of there. I've dialed this in a ton of times. It works so well with so many things. Like I said, glad we have the clean channels in there. I prefer the 2 for more of a lead setup. I know in this particular patch, I'll upload this to Axe Change too. If you just want to have all the 5150s in one place and you don't feel like building it yourself, it'll be really easy for you. I'll upload it for you. I find that, like I said, the 5152, it's definitely different and the gain is more lush. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a little bit better for leads. I probably need to tweak this a little bit more because I'm not as familiar with the 2 patch as I am with the block. I need to tweak it a little more because I find this patch right here had a little more mids. It was very mid heavy for it. But guys, that's gonna wrap it on 5150s. They're excellent amps. I definitely implore you to check them out. If you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Next time on Amps of the Axe FX3, we're gonna be checking out the Mesa dual rectos, and I'll take you on that very fun journey of all the dual rectos. And thank you so much, guys, for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for spending time with me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.